Hello everyone, Macintosh here. And so this is the updated version of the Crystal Boulevard. Right now I'm in the penthouse area, and to the back of the penthouse is basically the executive desk, or we like to call it the presidential desk, and the presidential chair and all that kind of stuff. The idea behind, or the theme, the overall theme behind the Crystal Boulevard is that it represents the government center of the Galente Federation. And down below at street level is where the actual Crystal Boulevard is located. And there you'll see basically like a whole area that is practically like a diamond crystal-esque surface that's like it's shining bright green and everything. That is practically armor that is about approximately 20 yards. No, not 20 yards. 20 meters. It's about 20 meters deep. Yeah, it's 20 meters deep, 100 meters wide, and 500 meters long. Although it is sectioned, it is in 5 sections separate. Like so, the area how it's designed, according to the EVE Online lore, is that the Crystal Boulevard is it's a fortress. It's a fortress with a near impregnable surface on top of it that consists of 100 cubic meters, 100 cubic meters of blocks each, like 5 each, like all lined up in a row. So there's 5 of these blocks that are 100 by 100 by 100 meters across from each other. The top 20 meters of that is the crystal, like it's literally a diamond. It's literally like one giant diamond piece that was fabricated. And then below that, the remaining 80 meters of the bottom portion of it is basically some kind of like crystalline carbon lattice that acts as like some special armor. And so you got 5 of those all lined up to provide maximum security for in case an orbital bombardment were to ever happen at the government center. And then on top of that, you have literally what amounts to Las Vegas sitting on top of it. So the lore goes that the Galente Federation, shortly after the incident with Admiral Yakia Tovotoba of the Caldari Federation, because this is what kicked off this was one of the things that kicked off the Galente Caldari War so many years ago. I think it was over a century ago. And so when that happened, like what happened was, if you look at the story behind the Admiral Yakia Tovotoba, he was the admiral of the Caldari Navy, and the story goes that while the Galente Federation declared all-out war against the Caldari and practically bombarded from orbit the major cities of Caldari Prime that resided in the Galente Federation, and again, if you read my lore, the Caldari were once part of the Galente Federation before they broke off in a very violent way. So, what then happened after that bombardment began? One of the admirals took it upon himself from the Caldari to basically take a fleet of dedicated fighters, a carrier, several cruisers and whatnot, and what have you, and basically just go running around like playing a game of cat and mouse, disrupting the attacks by the Galente Federation. And then the admiral, when he was actually pinned down, like when all resources were exhausted, because remember he was basically a thorn on the side of the Galente Federation. They wanted this guy dead. He was causing so much problems. But his aim was to basically distract the Galente Federation long enough to enable the people of the Caldari Prime, what's left of them, to effectively escape and move out to a different region of space where they established New Caldari. And so that was well outside the range of the Galente Federation. And in his last act of defiance, he took the fighter carrier, he took that ship and plunged it directly onto the surface of Galente Prime, the homeworld of the Galente Federation, which is where which is where this area is located. This is the city of Cale. This is the city of Cale. And within the city of Cale is an area known as the Crystal Boulevard, which is where this building and where I'm at is located. And so on this planet that I'm standing on, that admiral took that fighter carrier and plunged it straight into one of the major cities of Galente Prime. And if I recall correctly, could be wrong, I need to double check, but during descent, the vessel practically broke apart into two pieces. But because it also had like an antimatter reactor, when it collided into the city, it was effectively the equivalent of dropping a nuke onto the entire city. Meanwhile, the other half fell onto another city, causing massive devastation. And it's like, wow. And that was basically like one of the most devastating moments that the Galente Federation had ever suffered. So, when you look at it, the Galente government looked at that and decided, look, in order to avoid a possible to avoid having our own government wiped out by a ship crashing onto the surface like that, let's build a massive fortification of these giant crystal diamond encrusted pieces of armor that are 100 meters by 100 meters by 100 meters, and put 5 of them lined up like that, sitting on top of the main government center. And then what the Galente Federation did was the government then did was rent out the space. They opened up the space on top. So the entire surface down below was opened up as real estate to the entire public. The public then moved in, they set up shop, but because of the crystal-like design of the armor, the area took on a name called the Crystal Boulevard. And so this short little strip of 100 by 500 meters became synonymous with fortitude, strength, resilience. And because you now have a giant city on top, if you really want to destroy the central government of the Galente Federation, you have to drop a massive, massive bunker buster of a weapon, while simultaneously having to glass the entire surface of innocent civilians. And the crazy part is, the people who are residing here, the people who set up shop, they're gambling, they're doing their normal lives, they're complicit in all this. They know it. They know that at any moment there could be the Caldari or who knows, maybe the Amar, who knows, or maybe Sanchez Nation or the Deathless, who knows. It could be anyone up there that could drop a massive, massive weapon on top of them, glass the entire area. They're not going to care because they purposely made themselves as meat shields. Yeah, it's like, I could say, yeah, the Galente residents that reside here, they're innocent, but at the same time, they're kind of complicit, though. Like, they willfully put themselves as human meat shields, so that if that were to happen, the Galente Federation will use this attack as a rallying cry, and basically just as one massive hive mind, the Galente Federation would rally behind the Galente Federation. Yeah. And it's crazy how it is. So, anyways, that's enough of a lore. I probably should dedicate an entire video on that, though, because that is an interesting story I want to talk about, though. But that'll be another story altogether. Now, this world, as you can see, I made some updates around here, This is actually a live screen. Like if you were to look at it very closely, like if you were to look at this very closely, see how there, like you see some animation there. I don't know if you see it, if the video compression is allowing it, but there you actually see that the lights are actually moving around. That's like the disco ball effect. And there are three screens. These are actually live renders. I have three cameras situated in this world. One camera that's facing towards the rear of the lounge down below, the main lobby, and one facing towards the front of the main lobby, and an additional one facing directly towards the DJ area or the dance floor. Now, speaking of lights, I have added DMX finally into this world. I already have the patch sheet. And for those of you who are interested in wanting to try out programming your own lights to it, let me know. One thing to note is that those lights, they're local toggles only. I'm still needing to learn how to create a script that would enable control of those toggles that are both network synced and controllable only to the master of the instance. Because once I make those toggles network synced, if they're not restricted to the master or someone who is otherwise an administrator, any random person can just simply walk up to the booth and just like click and just annoy everybody with changing the lights repeatedly between the audio link lights and the DMX lights. In this world, the DMX lights are toggled on by default, and the audio link lights are toggled on by default, and the DMX lights are toggled off by default. And so, but they're local toggles only. Anyone could click on them. It's just that only you will see the changes. Now, what was I going to say? I'll get to it. I guess it'll come to me later. If you want the copy of the DMX patch sheet, which is one universe mode only, and it is a horizontal ArtNet grid that is located at the bottom of the video feed, based on the screen reader that I have in this world. You can get in touch with me on either Discord or on Blue Sky. I do have an official landing page, actually, Macintosh.com. That one, I actually have it registered, and I own that website. That's my domain. Now, there I have information on how you can contact me, whether through Discord or Blue Sky or in the comment section of YouTube, what have you. Now, in regards to Discord, there's an important note there. If you're trying to contact me through DMs and you are not in any of the Discords that I am personally in, then there's no way for you to actually get in touch with me directly without friending me. And unfortunately, I've made a policy where I am, especially as a result of having to deal with scammers, I do not accept friend requests from random people who just send me friend requests and they are not in any of the Discords that I am in. I used to just accept random friend requests, even from people outside of all the Discords that I'm in that don't have any mutuals with me, just so that I can say hi. But then at the end, it turned out that 99.9% of them are all scammers wanting to sell me art or some shit like that, or try to get me involved in crypto. Anyways, now, if you really want to ensure that you get in touch with me without the hassle, there is Blue Sky, and you can contact me. You can send me a DM through there. I mean, I don't mind accepting friend requests and stuff or follows that if you follow me there, I follow you back maybe. Although I don't. Actually, why not? If you follow me, I could follow you back, but it also depends on whether or not what kind of content you create as well. Actually, no, that's not fair. It's like if you create content at all, that's interesting. I mean, I'll follow you back. But if you're just like a lurker, if you only have an account that just lurks around, I mean, I'm not gonna follow you back though, unless of course DMs require that I follow you back. I'm like, okay, okay, I could accept that. So, anyways, I'm just rambling on. Anyways, I'll I'll figure it out, but you can contact me on either Discord or Blue Sky. And so I might friend you back if you friend me. It's like I do not, just to be clear, I do not subscribe to that whole idea of follow back, like follow you, follow back farming or anything like that. That's not who I am. So uh yeah, like the idea behind that is that like people who like do that when like they say, oh, follow me and I'll follow you back, those are people who are just farming. They're just farming the algorithm, and I don't like that. Generally speaking, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Anyways, now as for the future, what I'm going to be doing personally. So regarding I made a video about this on my Odysee channel in regards to like what I'm going to do with my hardware and PC setup moving forward in regards to Linux and Windows. And so since Windows 10 is expiring on October, like I think around 15 or 17 of October, I'm going to be migrating to Linux. I've already migrated my secondary PC to Linux Mint, and with the Valve Index, I was able to get VR to work in Linux with the Valve Index. The problem is that the Valve Index is limited hardware, and so is my PC. My PC is actually pretty dated, and it kind of struggles quite a lot. And sometimes when I go into VRChat, the flickering is, I think the flickering is due to the hardware experiencing its own limitations. But yeah, in the future though, I'm already considering getting either the Quest Pro or the Vive Focus 3, mainly because of the eye and lip tracking design that it offers. Both actually are compatible with Linux, surprisingly, according to the GitLab IO that was found in the Linux VR Adventures Discord, where it was linked. And so there I found out that through ALVR and SteamVR, both could actually work in Linux. And so I'm probably more inclined to go with the Focus 3, mainly because it's already been out in the market, and by now it should already have the bugs or any rough edges like worked out, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, what this means is all my projects that I've been working on for like the Event Horizon Lounge, the Crystal Boulevard, the Palatine Keep Star, the Ishikone, etc. I'm going to be migrating those projects eventually to Linux. Then comes the issue of figuring out which distribution of Linux, because I already got Linux Mint, but I want to know which distribution of Linux is best for my particular use case. And I mean, that's actually one of the benefits of working in Linux, because you have all kinds of flavors of Linux with specific use cases. And so, yeah, I mean, I might find one that actually works for me. I mean, I could go with I could just stick with Linux Mint, or I could just try out Arch Linux. We'll see. Now, I have to first verify or find out if the VRChat Creator Companion is even compatible with Linux at all, and if so, which distribution it best works in. And so that's all of these things are going to affect my decision, my choice as to which Linux distribution I pick. Now, other than that, I've updated the reflection probe on this world. So it's like you see the top of the table I'm standing on, the floor, part of the walls. This world now has reflection probes. Another thing that you probably haven't noticed, or maybe you have noticed, you've been paying attention. My eye tracking. Now, this is why I'm considering moving on to either the Quest Pro or the Vive Focus 3, is because I'm just getting absolutely tired of the eye tracking function of the Pimax Crystal crashing repeatedly, and this is on Windows 10. Now, it might not crash as much on, say, Windows 11, but that's not the point. The point is that this headset, while great hardware, like glass spheric lenses, practically no screen door effect as I'm like looking at like the reflections and stuff like that. I could literally see like the bumps and everything on the surface, and literally not a single screen door effect. I'm not seeing the individual pixels on the screen. I'm just seeing this. Like it's like so clear. Problem though, software is atrocious. God damn it. Anyways, so because of that, I feared that if the Pimax Crystal is not stable enough to work on Windows 10, there's not a chance in hell it has to work on Linux. Fuck that. So, what am I going to do with the headset then when that happens? I'll just tinker around with it. I mean, I could just sell it to somebody if they want it. But I'll probably just keep it and tinker around with it to see if maybe in the future somebody will figure out like some open source way of like having that headset finally work on Linux properly. Now back to the eyes. The eye tracking though, I think I went off on a tangent there. The eyes, I disabled the eye track app branch 8 application, mainly because I think that application has been crashing or causing the crashes, because what happens is it's taking up a significant amount of CPU utilization just to be able to render the eye openness. Like you've noticed, like my eyes are not smoothly opening and closing now. It's just like fully closed, fully open, no in between. I still have Broken Eye running along with the VRC face tracking app, just so that I can actually have like cross-eyed capability. And so, other than that though, so far my eye tracking has not crashed yet. But before, with that additional third client running in the background for the eye openness, it's been crashing every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes. Sometimes it goes on for hours, no problems, and then it suddenly crashes out of the blue. It's like, I can't tolerate that anymore. I'm surprised I was able to tolerate it as long as I did. But like, I couldn't tolerate it anymore. So I stopped using it. And also, I might as well get used to not having eye tracking for a while once I migrate to Linux. However, it is possible that with Vive Focus 3, I might still retain the eye tracking. That's another thing I like about the Quest Pro and the the Quest Pro and the Vive Focus 3, is that both of those, for all their flaws, work out of the box at the very least. Like minimal hassle when it comes to setup. And I have experience with Vive. I bought the original Vive headset. Worked great. I then upgraded towards the Vive Pro I, and that worked great. There was a little bit of a hassle on that one, but it still worked great once everything was set up. I've never had a single crash when it came to eye tracking. Then I went up to the Pimax Crystal, and that was a lot of hassle since then. I'm surprised I didn't give up earlier. Yeah. Other than that, I'm still working on this world, but this all the worlds that I have in VRChat right now are going to be the last worlds that I work on with Windows, with the exception of, say, maybe the Calichiota, which is a separate world I'm working on that is based off of the mobile command center, the interior of the mobile command center of the Caldari. And that's going to be like basically a room scale venue. Beyond that, though, any future projects regarding Unity are going to be are going to be done in Linux once I'm done with these. So, in the meantime, though, I'll probably just try. I'm thinking of figuring out how to migrate some of these projects over to Linux. So again, I don't know if VRChat Creator Companion is compatible with Linux to begin with, and if not, then I'm gonna have to manually create the package. Like I have to manually import the packages and stuff like that via the Unity hub. Like I do have Unity installed on Linux right now, at the very least. So we know Unity works with Linux. I know Blender works on Linux. Um, there is also another thing, like when it comes to video recording, like what I'm doing here as well. Uh, DaVinci Resolve is also compatible with Linux, but apparently it is best used in another type of Linux distribution. So, other than that, though, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as usual, fly safe. you.